everyone, welcome to From the Star Wars Home Video Library. I'm your host Nathan P. Butler. This time we take a look at some items from a place we've seen quite a bit that's not the US, across the pond in the UK. And again, these are items that, as we've seen before, were donated to the show and to my Star Wars library and to eventually be touched upon in the book as a little sidebar by Ricky Ray over in Scotland. So thank you very much for the Christmas gift. Ricky, I'm finally getting a chance to show this stuff on the show. Now, what's interesting here is we're looking at VHS releases from 1994. And these are all going to be releases that are marked as digitally remastered. But nowhere is there any marking of THX remastered. That didn't come until 1995, despite being based on THX remastered masters for the Definitive Collection Laserdisc in 1993. So I kind of have to sit back and wonder, what makes these digitally remastered? Is it the hi-fi process that we saw in previous years back in the 80s? Or are these essentially using digitally remastered copies from 1993's Definitive Collection, despite not actually being the THX remastered edition as far as their labeling or having any THX labeling on it at all? I am told these are essentially what we got, at least in the widescreen case, with the Executor set, just done as individual releases. But I'd be interested if anyone else knows any of the process that the UK side of things went through, because this was a new one for me. Seeing stuff before 95 on VHS marked as digitally mastered with no THX logo in sight. So, what he actually sent was both trilogies as their individual VHS releases. And by both, in that case, speaking 1994, I of course don't mean prequel and original, I mean widescreen and full screen. So let's start with full screen. UK VHS is not something I've dabbled into too much, so it's really kind of cool to see these. Again, clamshell cases, clamshells, as one commenter recently noted, are what you would see generally for individual releases in the UK. They just vary by color and whatnot, whereas the mail-aways, like the Dairy Lee stuff, tend to be in the cardboard packaging. So here's the full-screen version of A New Hope. Cool poster art, digitally remastered up at the top, the reflective silver, rating at the bottom. Nice and clean looking. I like that. The back, similar to some we've seen before. We have our text here about the film. Down underneath, new digital PAL Masters approved by Lucasfilm for improved picture and sound quality. Well, it says PAL Masters, not NTSC or just General Masters, so presumably they must have gotten the remastering before THX? Is that what we're seeing here? It's what it sounds like. But isn't that kind of redundant? Odd. Cast crew information, legalese and whatnot down here, hi-fi stereo, Dolby Surround, rating, Fox Video 20th Century Fox. This is the Fox Video era. And then there is your UPC symbol. The side, digitally mastered at the top, Star Wars, closed caption symbol, Fox Video, rating, product number. Inside, kind of like what we saw with all of those Droids and Ewoks clamshells, where they had the advertising on the inside because you could see through the clamshell. Same kind of thing here. Out of this world. We have advertisements for Alien, Aliens, Alien 3, the 3 Star Wars films, including this one in full screen. Then we got what down there? We got a Predator, Predator 2, and Planet of the Apes. And we've got The Abyss in both regular and special editions on there. As for the actual tape, not much in the way of coolness to the label, kind of standardized labels there. Got your tape information there on the side without an actual label. And there's the label, Fox Video, Star Wars, rating, closed caption, legalese. Pretty much it. 1994 Fox Video, yada, yada, yada there. Okay. So, digitally remastered from PAL Masters that were digitally remastered before THX, but there's your full screen 1994 copy. Love the look of this. I actually like the look of the widescreen ones also as well. It's kind of tough for me to decide which of the two I think looks cooler, but I dig the class to these. They just feel like classy covers compared to what we saw with some of the US releases. Then Empire Strikes Back, digitally remastered. Empire Strikes Back, again, reflective silver, poster art, rating at the bottom. The back, again, info about the film, images we've seen before, cast crew information, legalese text. Got our logos, but CBS Fox notice added there as well. And then you've got your rating off to the side, UPC and whatnot. spine, digitally remastered, Empire Strikes Back, closed caption symbol, CBS Fox symbol, Fox Video, rating, and then your product number. Inside, same advertising, same style of label. Which brings us to Return of the Jedi. Digitally remastered, Return of the Jedi, silver reflective, poster art with the exploding Death Star, okay, rating down in the corner. Similar spine to Empire, which does include CBS Fox. Similar back style to the other ones, which does include CBS Fox again. Inside, again, same advertising, but then there's your same style of label. Notice the labels have Fox Video, not CBS Fox on them. But then some little advertising inserts, a Star Wars t-shirt special offer, and an advertisement for Super Return of the Jedi, a Star Wars game on the Super Nintendo, one of the great Star Wars video game trilogies, the Super Trilogy for SNES. Now in 1994, though not in all years in the UK, there was an accompanying widescreen release. And instead of it just being the exact same packaging, just with widescreen on it, what we got was something pretty cool looking, although I'm sure it confused the heck out of people looking back on it just a few years later. For A New Hope for widescreen in 1994 in the UK, we had this. Again, the cool art there, digitally remastered up at the top, widescreen special edition, Star Wars with reflective silver, other side this time for our rating. But notice there, it's the widescreen special edition. Could also say special edition widescreen. But that's not the special edition in widescreen, as would be the case 3 years later. That, I think, is where it might get a little confusing looking back on it. This is not the special editions. This is the original, well, the pre-special edition version as of 94. Okay? Alright, so there's our front. Spine, digitally mastered, special widescreen edition, Star Wars, closed caption symbol, Fox Video, rating, product number. The back, widescreen image and special widescreen edition up there at the top. Text about the film. Then, new digital PAL Masters approved by Lucasfilm for improved picture and sound quality, again. Cast crew information, legalese, noting it is the widescreen version and noting that the aspect ratio is 2.35 by 1. It says letterbox version to let you know it's going to have the black bars on top and bottom so it doesn't freak people out. Hi-Fi stereo VHS, Dolby Surround. Then you've got your rating, UPC, Fox Video, 20th Century Fox logo as well for this one. Label, pretty much the same. It just says widescreen underneath the film name there, Star Wars widescreen. But inside, instead of it being advertisements, it's cool images from the film and a note there where it says Star Wars released May 25th, 1977. It lists its Academy Awards underneath categorized. Pretty neat interior there. This was, of course, accompanied by The Empire Strikes Back. Again, digitally remastered, widescreen special edition. Empire Strikes Back in reflective silver. Our rating back on this corner here. Poster style art there. Spine, kind of a hybrid here, right? Digitally remastered, widescreen special edition, or special widescreen edition. Title, closed caption symbol, CBS Fox again, Fox Video, rating, product number. Similar style back with a widescreen sort of example shot up at the top. Okay, same aspect ratio given there as well. Inside, similar type of label on the tape. And then similar set of images from the film, plus its release date, The Empire Strikes Back, released May 21st, 1980 in UK. And then underneath, your awards. And then finally, with that frustrating image we all know kind of as the Revenge of the Jedi image, we have Return of the Jedi. Digitally remastered, special widescreen edition, or widescreen special edition, or special edition widescreen, whatever. Nice, shiny logo. Vader face, it's that poster image. Yes, without the fix, so Vader is holding the blue saber, Luke is holding the red one. Then our rating down at the bottom. Spine effectively the same as what we saw for Empire Strikes Back with the different logo for the different film. Similar style back there. In terms of design, yes, it does include CBS Fox. Inside, again, your cassette with a similar label that just says widescreen between the title and closed captioned. And similarly, breakdown of awards and whatnot, images from the film, and in this case, Return of the Jedi, released May 25th, 1983. And in the case of the films and their Academy Awards, I would note here that for Empire and Jedi, it's more about nominations than wins. Frickin' Oscars. So it would appear, unless I'm misunderstanding, again, somebody correct me on this, that we've got a remaster specific for PAL that's not the THX remaster, not the THX remastering process, yet came after the THX remastering was done for the Definitive Collection, but before the regular THX remastered edition that was released not just in the US but in the UK and elsewhere, here in 2 different releases, widescreen and full screen, for each of the original trilogy films in 1994. A very cool looking set. I love the look of these. These are the kinds that you would use as display pieces more than just sitting them, spine outward on your shelf. Very cool to look at, and they do feel kind of fancy in terms of the glossy silver and all that. Just too bad the labels of the films themselves didn't do anything to try to look fancy. It's like they spent their entire fancy schmancy budget on the outer packaging. We're like, yeah, let's just use some generic labels. That's okay. We got to stick that gigantic rating on it anyway. It's not like we're going to have a whole lot of room. Sure, why not? But very cool to see. Thank you very much to Ricky Ray for sending these over from Scotland. I really appreciate it. And yeah, with that, we'll wrap up this episode. Thank you for watching, and may the Force be with the home video viewers.